What's going on, YouTube? This is your host, Deontay, with Danny and Deontay After Dark. And I'm back with another episode. Before we jump into the video, if you're new, if you'd be so kind to subscribe to the channel. If you're returning, smash the like, leave a comment in the comment section below. And also feel free to donate to the channel. There's a lot of work that goes into this. I put in a lot of work to make sure I get y'all some good quality content. Any donations is very much appreciated. Yes, indeed. Yo, tonight's topic we discussing tonight is about co-parenting, effective co-parenting. How do two parents that are no longer together, different households, one child, two children, you may have multiple children together. How do you effectively co-parent without all the messiness, without all the toxic behavior, without all the negativity? How do two co-parent effectively? And why are there so many issues at times, in some cases, with co-parenting? So, what I see, me, myself, being 41 years of age, I'm a co-parent. I have no issues co-parenting with any of my children's moms. It goes rather well. And if it isn't healthy, I just deal with the child. You know, children become old enough, they become of age to where they can communicate what it is that they need. Now, in some cases, if the child isn't able to communicate what they may need, say, an incident comes up in school, there's a medical situation that may come up, or just, life situations that requires two adults to step in and communicate with each other to figure out a solution for the child. Then that's when, you step in as parents and put all your differences to the side and figure it out. Figure out the best resolution that's in the best interest of the child. Far too many times I see two individuals that just can't come together. Too many times. And that's not the best interest. That's not for the best interest of the child. I see people clash over small, minor things that can just be so simple if y'all two just can put y'all differences to the side and communicate in a healthy manner. Some people just can't do it. I mean, they can, excuse me, but they refuse to. They refuse to do it. Some people just can't let go of what once was. There's men who refuse to move on with their lives, and they don't want to see the woman happy. They don't want to see her move on with someone else. Their priorities all screwed up. Because at the end of the day, it's a child there that didn't ask to be here. And that child has to be taken care of. The child has to be fed. The child has to be clothed. The child has to be educated. The child has to be taken care of. Bottom line, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There are some women who makes it hard for the man to effectively co-parent, to be there, to be present, to assume his role as a father. They use those children as a pawn, as leverage, to get what they want, or they use that just to get under the man's skin. It's not right. Because guess what? Guess who suffers out of all that? The child. The child suffers the most. children are like sponges. Children are very intelligent. They're very smart. As children get older, I say about 7 or 8 years old, they become more self-aware as the years progress. Especially when they reach 10, 11, 12, they really are becoming more self-aware. More aware of what's going on around them, their surroundings, the atmosphere, the aura. Children are not dumb. By no means they're not dumb kids. And we have to be mindful of that, especially in this day and time that we're living in. We have to be mindful of the things we say in front of these children, the things we do in front of these children. It's not fair. It's not right. When two consenting adults that came together and made this child can't come and meet each other in the middle, come up with some kind of mutual understanding to where they can effectively keep it cordial, effectively co-parent. It's unfair. It's not right to that child. You know, children can grow up and resent their parents because of this. You know, mothers will talk down on the father in front of the child. They talk about the father to their friends, to the relatives. Oh, he's not shit. He's not doing nothing. He's a deadbeat. He's not doing enough. I'm doing this shit by myself. I'm a single mother. Correction, you're not a single mother. If that man is contributing, he's doing the best he can do, putting forth effort, you're not doing it alone, ma'am. And some fathers, in some cases, have custody of the children. And the fathers can be very spiteful. I know of a situation now where there's a man, I'm not going to even call him a gentleman, there's a guy who has custody of him and his ex-girlfriend's child. And he just does the most vile, disrespectful, mind-boggling things. And I'm just looking like, well, damn. Dude, you doing this to hurt her. This is not in the best interest of the child. This is hurting the child as well. This child is really suffering behind your actions. And one day this child, this young girl is going to grow up to become a teenager and become a woman. And she going to look back on all this bullshit you doing. And she's going to grow up to resent you. Is you doing all this for what? Because you can't have this woman no more? Really? You know, it's just the things I see, especially in our culture, when I'm speaking to African Americans. We have to do better as a whole, as a family unit. You know, I understand sometimes things don't work out. People outgrow each other. People go their separate ways. People just can't be together. And oftentimes we're not raised to be husbands and be wives and do things according to what God tells you to do. You understand? It's people that produce children. A lot of children are produced outside of wedlock. That has a lot to do with this. People hooking up, having a good time, not protecting themselves, and boom, a child is born. And this is clearly not what you wanted. It was just a fling, just something to do. But in the midst of all this, a child came. And now y'all two can't get along. This guy's mad because he didn't impregnated this drama queen, or this girl's mad because she impregnated this deadbeat, just nothing ass guy with no goals, no sense of direction, no sense of being a man, no sense of leadership. It goes both ways. It's not just pinned on one person or one specific sex. It goes for male and females. Some people just aren't meant. A lot of people do irresponsible things. And we got to be mindful that children can come out of this. A lot of times, especially if you're not protecting yourself, what do you think is going to happen? A child is going to be born. And oftentimes, these children are left to a single parent home where it's just one parent. The father's outside or the mother's outside. On the outside looking in. And just because they're not together anymore, or just because things didn't work out, it's negative attitudes. It's the side eye. It's the toxic manipulation tactics. And nobody suffers but the child. Then y'all get the system involved. That makes it even more difficult to co-parent. Because now you got resentment, you got anger, you got the unseen inconvenience of dealing with the system. Yeah, it's very inconvenient when you're dealing with the system. And in my opinion, I believe two people should keep their business out of the system. You know, two people should be able to come together and come up with a plan, implement the plan, stick to the plan, stay consistent, communicate through it. You know, hey, I'm going to give you $200-$300 a month. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'll provide this. I'll provide that. And stick to the plan. Don't just say what you're going to do and don't do it. Like, I see so far too many times where the man won't do nothing. Just won't do anything. Nothing at all. You know you have a child out here. You know the child needs to eat. You know the child needs clothes. You know the child needs Pampers. You know the child needs things, necessities, essential products. Just do it. Just go out and do it. You know the child gonna need clothes, and the seasons change: winter, summer, fall, spring. Make sure you going out getting clothes. Make sure you're aware of the size the kids wear. Healthy communication. Healthy communication. All it takes is a text message. Hey, how you doing today? Just wanted to see what size clothes should I buy for so-and-so. What size is he in? What size is she in right now? That way you don't make a mistake. Or can I pick so-and-so up so I can go and get them some clothes for the summer and a few pairs of shoes? Simple communication. In some cases, I've seen people who try to do that. And, you know, you would get fault every which way you go. I remember times where I've purchased items for my children, and I've been told, oh, this looks cheap. And I don't shop cheap. But like, well, damn, if I'm not doing it, well, you're not doing shit. If you do it, you get the backlash. You get some kind of criticism. It's not healthy. Look at it as like, well, damn, at least he's doing something. It's people that don't do shit for their kids. You know what I'm saying? Smash the like. Leave me a comment. Smash the like. We talking some shit today. Some real shit. You know, I see far too often, when a man has moved on with his life and got him a new woman or something eventually, the baby mama becomes bitter. Say, oh, he's not going to spend his money with this bitch. I'm going to child support. Or cause all types of unnecessary issues. Well, my child's not coming over there if she's there. And in most cases, the man don't know who the hell is around their children in your house. We don't know what the hell going on 24/7 up in there. So who the hell are you to call shots in my shit? You know what I'm saying? This shit goes both ways. It got to be some kind of balance. It got to be some kind of equality. You laid down with this person, you should be able to trust their judgment that they wouldn't put your child in harm's way of whoever they're dealing with right now. In some cases, I recommend you don't bring the new girlfriend that you only been seeing for a week or two around your kids. Get to know that person, and if that person's going to be someone that sticks around, then it's okay. If y'all been dealing with each other for 6 months to a year, you know it's just something you want to be. This is someone you want to be with. This is someone you can see yourself with long term. Okay, but you don't just bring any and everybody around your kids. I see that far too often with a lot of these women in our community. Your children shouldn't see you running niggas in and out of the house. Every man you meet, you got your kids calling this man daddy. Y'all playing house and your kids seeing every person that runs in and out. You know what I'm saying? But then the man get him a girlfriend or get someone that's solid, someone consistent. You got a problem. It's just, this whole co-parenting thing. That's why I recommend people take parenting classes before the child is even born. I've done it. When I had my daughter, my youngest daughter, she's 11 now? When I had my youngest daughter, her mother and I, we went to a parenting class. And it was very helpful. That was the first time I did that. She was my fourth child. But herself and we attended a parenting class. It was very beneficial. I recommend that to anyone, any couples out here that's having children, or you having your first child, second child. It don't matter. Take that parenting class. It's nice. It's very nice. It's very nice. It's a very nice setup. Very informative. Take notes. You learn so much. So much that can create a healthy relationship. Even if y'all don't work out, you can have a cordial relationship to where you effectively co-parent together without no bullshit, no messiness, no drama. The child has a healthy life, healthy atmosphere, and it's a breeze. You understand? What I don't understand, though, is how some of these men haven't gotten over, the baby mama or whatever. She's moved on. His ass, finally gets some bravery. He grows some nuts and want to call the phone, call the house all times of the day and night. It causes problems. Especially if she'd have moved on. Like, you see she got a good man, a solid man. You a little hurt. And you want to call and start arguments with her. Nothing pertaining to the child. Nothing about the child has nothing to do with the child. You calling her because you want to try to make things work out. I don't understand some of these guys. I know me and my wife, we have been together for about 4 years. And her baby daddy called the house one day and said, "Hey, what'd you cook today?" She listening on the phone like, "What you mean? I haven't cooked yet." "Well, you ain't got to cook tonight. I'm going to order some food for y'all." Like, what? Like, seriously, dude? Are you fucking serious right now? Like, that was totally disrespectful. Totally out of pocket. Like, you felt that comfortable to call my wife and tell her what you gonna do. And it's a whole motherfucking man in here that's been providing for everything in this motherfucker. I don't get it. Some men just do dumb, ignorant shit. That was dumb, ignorant, disrespectful shit. And I told her, you need to nip that shit in the bud. If he can't call and respect that you have a man, you have a husband, he don't need to call here at all. At all. I don't give a fuck. You got a child here, okay, cool. But if he can't call and respect this house, respect what we got going on, he don't need to call at all. Put his ass on block till he know how to behave. Or we get your son a phone, he call that phone. He don't need to have no contact with you unless it's something of a true emergency. But for right now, block his ass. And I recommend that to anybody going through that. If that man or that woman can't respect your current relationship, especially if it's a solid, good, healthy relationship, healthier than what that bullshit was, and especially for a person that ain't did shit and want to sit up there and try to all of a sudden want to play super dad after 4, 5, 6, 7 years, they want to be super dad all of a sudden just one day out the year. Block their ass. Block. I'm talking about linebackers, some offensive line shit. Block they ass. You know, people don't have boundaries. You know, you got to nip shit in the bud. If somebody is causing problems in your current situation, your current relationship, your marriage, block them. God says, forsake all others. Block their ass. You know, some people just out of pocket. It's the women too. They see that man happy. They see you doing your thing, and don't let you be more successful than you was with them. You getting money, y'all both getting money, y'all getting property together, y'all really making moves. Oh, them women be bitter as hell. They don't know how to act. Block her ass. Block. Block them. Block them. Like, once my children became of age, I didn't want to have nothing to really say to their moms if we weren't, you know, getting along in that time or whatever. Like, I know my oldest daughter, her mother just couldn't co-parent at all. Just no kind of co-parenting skills, no skills of co-parent, no skills of compromise, just no nothing. As soon as my daughter turned 18, I cut off all contact. You know what I'm saying? It's just like some people just love to make other people's life a living hell when they've moved on. They want to call all the shots. They want to say where you can see your child, and they want to get rid of the child when it's convenient for them. They want to go out. Oh, you want to get your kids this weekend, baby daddy? Bullshit. No, I wanted to see her last weekend when I was off work. I had to work all weekend now. You know, it's just, sometimes it's just never enough. Nothing's never good enough. It's always some messy bullshit when it comes to this co-parenting shit. Like, unnecessary shit. But how do we come together and effectively co-parent? Like I said, it takes healthy communication. Putting y'all differences to the side. So many people focused on, you did this, you did that, and I did this, and you did that, and we did this, and we didn't do this, and we could have did this. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. We didn't. It didn't work. Move the fuck on. I have a bitter one that's been bitter towards me for 10 years. And going around painting a false narrative of everything. On the outside looking in, thinking they know shit that they don't know nothing about. Spreading false rumors, saying that they ain't getting this, they're not getting that. They got to do this about themselves, they got to do that. But getting $875 a month in child support. But yet you got to do this by yourself, and I'm not doing anything. I don't see my son. You know, I'm so glad I have a great wife and partner that can witness firsthand what I go through and say, damn, that's fucked up. Like, it's not right when a man shows up to a family event and his child's there, and as soon as you get there, oh, we got to go. Like, every single time you just got to, it's conveniently, you just got to go. As soon as I pop up, oh, we got to go. Like, dude, what's the problem? You mad I brought my woman? Well, what's the problem? I finally found someone that I can grow with and build with, something that you couldn't do because you was selfish at the time. You was selfish and self-centered and worried about you. And I got tired of the shit. Get over it. I moved on to something better and greater. And can't nobody tell me shit. I'm happy. I'm not saying we have a perfect, just perfect golden relationship. You know, people go through things. But I'm overall a happy motherfucker. More happy than I've been with any of my kids' mothers. And some people can't deal with that. They don't want to see you happy. Men and women. They don't want to see you happy. And it gets in the way of you co-parenting because he too happy. Well, let me just use this child and make him unhappy. It's real shit. This actually goes on. I know he love his child. I know he like to spend time. Let me go and request some more child support. Anything to make your life a living hell. And guess who suffers? The child. Now that's taking time. You got to go and work and do extra hours. That's taking time away from the child. You don't have time, especially if they don't want the child to come over to their stepmother's home. To y'all home. And you're not there in their stepmother's home. Well, you going to be there? If you're not going to be there, he can't come or she can't come. Stupid shit. And you can go to all the lengths in the world to make them comfortable. Well, y'all can meet. This is her. You know, this is what she does. You know, they meet, shake hands, and it's still an issue. Too many of these motherfuckers be in people's business that shouldn't pertain to them. It don't have nothing to do with them. Especially if you've moved on. I know your child coming over there. But if you've met this person, you've seen how they are. If this person's been in your ex's life consistently for years. I'm talking about years. And you see they doing well. Your child has spent time over there and they never came back and said they've been abused or been cussed out or been verbally, anything. What's the problem? You that fucking mad. I tell you, people need to get their shit together, man, when it comes to co-parenting. When it comes to raising these children, a child needs both parents. And they need to see the parents being able to effectively co-parent. Everything doesn't work out. Sometimes things just don't work. But we need to be adults now and say, okay, we didn't work out, but it's about this child now. Let's do this. Once the child 18, okay, y'all can cut all ties. Some people are connected for life. In the situation with children, you're gonna always be connected for the rest of that child's life. But if y'all just can't get along, then just cut it off. Once the child reach adulthood, just leave it alone. If something come up and happen, then okay, yeah, y'all have to communicate. But if y'all just can't get along, the child turns 18, nothing else to say. I made that decision for me. It made me the happiest man in the world to not have to deal with my two oldest kids' mothers. The happiest man in the world, because all I heard for 18 years, you ain't doing shit. You ain't did nothing. You ain't did nothing. Well, how else did my child get shoes, get clothes, have a positive relationship, fishing, wrestling events, circus? I'm coming to basketball games. I'm coming to school activities. Who ain't done shit? Who haven't done shit? You know, I'm paying into the child support system, but my child still needs shit. And I'm going out doing double. I'm giving child support and going out getting my child shit. So who really ain't doing shit? You couldn't keep a stable home. My child that came to live with me, and you still getting the child support. So who ain't done shit? You know, these females got life fucked up. And some of these men got life fucked up. These people have life fucked up. So I was so happy when my children reached adulthood. I didn't have to deal with that shit or hear that shit no more. You know, they'd come down on a man that's doing shit, but the motherfucker ain't doing shit. They get the red carpet treatment. When he finally come around to see the child, everybody's smiling and happy. But when you're a consistent father and y'all just don't get along or whatever, what kind of some kind of drama, whatever resentment there is that's still there, you just, oh, that's so and so. He just here to pick him up. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I don't fuck with him. Let it be that deadbeat that come around. They get the ultimate welcome package. They get the complimentary breakfast, complimentary lunch, complimentary dinner, and you just might get some ass. All jokes put to the side. I'm being serious. See it far too often, man. Far too often. To where two motherfuckers can't just put their differences to the side and focus on the main thing at hand, and that's raising this child. That's what it's all about, raising this child. But y'all still in y'all feelings and can't put shit to the side and just focus on what the main task is, the main goal. It's effectively raising this child, keeping this child safe, keeping this child healthy, protecting this child. But you got one of them or both of them that just can't take them out the equation. Say, let's take us out the equation and focus on the child. No. Crazy, ain't it? How many of y'all are effectively co-parenting in a healthy manner? How many of y'all have effectively been able to co-parent in a positive manner for the best interest of the child? Leave a comment in the comment section. I want to know how many people are having a healthy co-parenting experience. You know, just because you get a new man or you get a new significant other, I've had this happen too, to where, you know, my daughter was born, fourth daughter. Her mother and I, we didn't, you know, after the baby was born, we went our separate ways about 3 months in. You know, she was younger at the time. She wanted to explore her options and do her thing and get out and meet other people. Okay. Cool. I'm still getting my child. You know, but when, you know, she finally met a guy that was doing a little something more than what I was doing, I had hit a downward spiral at that time in my life. You know, between running a business and losing that business and losing her, and just everything happened at once. And in that certain time in my life, She met a guy that was doing a little bit more, had a little more going on for herself, and all of a sudden he became the father. My daughter got old enough, and I'm hearing her say, "Yeah, my daddy." I'm like, "Yo, what? Yeah, my dad. That's not your daddy. That's not your dad. I'm your dad. You call him Mr. So-and-so." You know what I'm saying? I asked her about it. Oh, she did it on her own. No, you correct that shit. I'm not in jail. I'm here. I'm taking care of her. I'm working. I'm providing. True enough, it's child support, but I've done extra stuff outside of that. Just because this man is doing a little bit more, don't mean he's officially the father. That don't take that shit away from me. Yeah, I didn't get that. But people so selfish, they don't give a fuck how the opposite parent feel that's on the outside. They just going through the motions, doing their thing, and say fuck them. Especially when they meet somebody that's doing a little bit better. And it's not fair, it's not right. And he should have been ashamed of himself, because I remember the first time I met him, he was handling my daughter one day, picking. I'm like, well, first of all, who the fuck are you? You get what I'm saying? You introduce yourself before you just start handling somebody's child, like bringing them, picking them up, bringing. Who the fuck is you? Who the fuck are you, dude? I don't give a fuck about you fucking her and doing what y'all doing, but I need to know what the fuck you doing handling my daughter. It's different when you have daughters. You don't want no other man just coming to pick your daughter up and handling your daughter and stuff like that. People really need to be mindful and be careful of how they are co-parenting. You can take the joy out of being a parent. Like, you don't understand how certain things affect certain people. It can affect someone's self-esteem. It could affect a lot of things. A lot can be affected. It can send somebody into depression. Like, well, damn, am I not doing enough? Am I good enough to be a father? We all human. We deal with things differently. I've heard this from several different individuals, especially the men. These women, they can be so vile when it comes to these kids, and vice versa. But I deal with a lot of men when we conversate about stuff like this and of this subject, to where these women can be so vile and use these children against them. Won't give the deadbeat a hard time, but the men that's out here really putting in work, really working hard to be a provider and be the proper father they can be to their children, they get the roughest time in the world. And it doesn't do anything but rob that child of a father. Some men will step back and say, you know what? Fuck it. I throw my hands up. I'm fucking done. I've heard of men getting police called on for no reason. And, it's a lot of dangerous games being played when it comes to these kids. And nobody suffers but the fucking kid in the long run. And y'all don't get it. Just don't get it. I don't want I don't want anyone else's child calling me daddy. And I'm not the actual father. Now, I can see if the father's locked up or deceased, and I might have been in that child's life for all time, and then, when they were an infant or something like that came up. Yeah, that's fine. Or if that child has just made that decision that when they reached of age at a reasonable age, like 10, 11, 12, and they just don't hear nothing from their father at all, like the father hasn't made no attempt to establish a relationship, hasn't did anything at all, haven't purchased anything, hasn't made no effort at all. And I've been in that child's life since they were a baby or something like that, and they see me doing everything, then that's okay. I can accept that. But me as a father, I wouldn't like that if my child was running around calling somebody else dad because I'm actually the one there. Can't none of my children's mothers say, oh, he just abandoned her, he just abandoned him, he just don't want to have nothing to do with him. No. I love all my children. But if we can't get along and my child is not able to speak for themselves, I'm going to separate myself from the situation. I'll continue to pay my child support. I'll continue to send money or whatever and do what else I got to do and buy my child things and have somebody drop it off, or I drop it off here, or we can, go to court and figure out if we could set up some kind of visitation or something like that, which that's a whole nother thing. And I try to keep family business out of the system. But sometimes you have to do what you got to do. And even that can be hard sometimes because you go through the system, it's always some dumb shit. Not making excuses or anything. But we have to do better when it comes to co-parenting and working together for the best interest of the child. Remember, like I said earlier, the child is the one who suffers in the long run. You don't rob no child of their mother or their father. You only get one of those. You only get one mother. You only get one father. One. Smash the like. Hit the subscribe. Feel free to donate to the channel. What y'all think about this topic? I didn't dive as deep as I wanted to go into it, but it gets deeper than that. We have to effectively co-parent. Say effectively, I mean you have to be effective with this shit. These children need a mother. They need a father. Be mindful of what you say about these children's fathers in front of them. Be mindful. Be mindful of what you say about these children's mothers in front of them. One thing I don't do, me personally, I don't down talk my children's mothers in front of my children. I can't stand their guts. Fortunately, I get along with the ones I keep in touch with, like cordially. I'm not sharing personal business or catching up on old times or reflecting and seeing, oh, so who you dating now? I don't give a fuck about none of that. I just worry about my child. I don't give a fuck what you got going on. As long as you're not doing nothing to harm yourself that could harm my child or put my child at risk, I'm cool. So I don't care about nothing you got going on unless it affects my child. If you about to lose your house, something going wrong, or your health is declining, bring my child to me. May God bless you. Other than that, I'm not concerned with nothing like that. About who they fucking and what they got going on, who they dating. Long as my children are okay, that's my main concern. That should be the only concern for anybody. Because when you can't put your differences to the side, once again, the child suffers. Some people will up and move out of state with the kids. Just up and move. They don't care about what the other parent feel or what their feelings are about it. They just make the executive decision to say, I got to move. I'm relocating. Say bye to your daddy. Say bye to your mama. Not fair, not right. Look, I'm about what's right and what's right. That's it. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And that shit, when people make moves like that, shit is totally wrong. Out of pocket. I've seen far too many times where a woman had met a man online or met a man long distance, and is up and move with the kid. Just up and move. How the fuck is that co-parenting? How? Explain it. Yeah, we just got to do better, folks. And that goes for black, white, I don't care, Hispanic, whatever you are. We have to be able to have cordial, healthy relationships to make sure this child is properly taken care of. That's it. That's the bottom line. Now, in conclusion, I'm about to wrap this up. This is Danny and Deontay After Dark, wrapping it up. Smash the like. In conclusion, I would say, like I said earlier, parenting classes. You know, it's a lot of free parenting classes out here. We didn't have to pay for ours when we went. This was about almost 12 years ago. There's so many free resources out here for therapy, counseling, and just classes in specific. Parenting classes. A lot of those services are free. You just have to apply it. I recommend that over anything. Get some parenting classes. This is your new baby, your second, third, fourth, fifth baby. Get some parenting classes. Get some parenting classes. Also, communicate in a healthy way. If you can't talk verbally, text message, email. It's so many forms of communication now. They can keep y'all from clashing and going at each other. Why go back and forth with anybody? You can put that energy into doing something with the child. What's the back and forth about? I don't understand that. Put y'all differences to the side and focus. And that's all I'm going to say about this whole thing. When it comes to these kids, set your differences to the side and focus. Focus on the task at hand. The child. Focus on making sure that child has the best life possible, because that child did not ask to be here. Them children did not ask to be here. They're innocent. Innocent in all this. That's it. That's all. Peace.